poem. You don't need to do any preamble or talking or anything like that. You don't need to introduce yourself. You might want to give another content warning to just remind us that the content might be a bit heavy, or it might be very emotional or vulnerable, and you just want to give people the opportunity to mute if that's something that they're not really up for in that moment, which we totally respect. So in light of that, this is a general content warning. The poetry has a tendency to bring out the big stuff, and that's why we love it so much. We honour the story, we honour the vulnerability, we honour the truth, but it is a really hard time at the moment for so many of us. So if you need to mute, we totally respect that, and yeah, you just take care of yourselves and come back to the poetry when you're ready. So in terms of clicking, now you might have seen me doing this on the screen before. It is not me clicking at a dog or anything like that. It is the total opposite of that. It is letting the poet know that we are vibing what you're saying. So in the space, in person, I absolutely love a click. It's very jazzy, very poet, and I absolutely love it. I do it in the classroom now with the kids at school, and they're like, okay, she's doing that poet thing. But we can't obviously do that the same in the online space. So we do a little jazz hands, little fingers like this if you want to let the poet know that you are really feeling what they're saying. It's just a really beautiful way to be able to engage with the poet, with the audience, and the poet for them to see as well the lines of theirs and the way that their poem is being received by the group. Another way that we can do it is in the chat. So you can do capital C's like this, you can do little c's like this, just to let the poet know that you're on board. But something that I really love about the online space that we don't get in person is the fact that we can share actual lines that have really hit home for you. So if a poet shares something that you're like, oh, that line is an absolute piece of gold, write it in the chat, let the poet know that you're vibing it, because it's such a beautiful way to connect with them and let them know that, yeah, you've got this, they've got this, absolutely. So now the judges will score out of 10 to a decimal point. The way that we want to be seeing that, I'm just going to rip off a little scrap here, is like this, big and bold. I'm voting it all a 9.9 today. I know that might be backwards because I've mirrored myself. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, so write it nice and big on a piece of paper and get it right up into the camera so I can read it out, and the timekeepers and the scorekeepers can take record of it. We do to the decimal point to avoid any ties, but to avoid that on another level, the top and the bottom score of the 5 scores will be dropped to just make it more fair and to avoid any bias or anything if there's like an ex-lover in the room or your mum, so we've got to make sure that it's all as fair as possible. So now that brings us to the judging section. We need to choose the judges for today's wonderful event. So if you are keen to be a judge to help decide the future of Australian slam poetry, then please come forward. The judging is really easy. All it is you are listening to the poem, you're getting a feeling for how it's going, you get a sense of what the poem's all about, and then you give it a score between 1.1 and 9.9 or even 10. Obviously, we're not doing 1.1s, you're scoring the poem and the poet. So yeah, we really want to be amping them up. One thing you have to think about though is score creep. So score creep is this thing in judging in poetry slams where you start off really perfectionist with it, and you want to make sure that the poem is like the score is perfect, and you're like, oh, I've got to be really niggly with it. But then as the poetry goes on, you're like, oh my God, all the poetry is amazing. And so you end up just seeing the scores go up and up and up. So the way that we do that is we're going to have a sacrificial poem. And before we do that, we do need to find some judges. So has anyone had a think about it? Is anybody willing to come forward and help support the crew today? Peter and Jan, how are you going today? Are you keen to be judges again?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. Awesome. Our esteemed guests. Yes, thank you, Peter and Jan. Wonderful. And then I'm looking around the room. Who else would be keen to judge today? I'd absolutely love it. Even if we just got 3 judges, we'd be able to work with that. It'd be amazing. Who else is not competing? Hey, Ozzy, your name is on the list to compete today. Are you going to compete still? Yeah? Is that a nod? It's just a bit laggy on my end. Yeah? Sweet. All right, then I'm putting you in the hat, in the actual hat. All right.
Amber has her hand up.
Amber? Oh, I can't see that. Where? All good, Amber. Sweet. We've got Amber. We've got Peter and Jan. We've got Amber. We only need one more judge to get this poetry slam underway. Who is it going to be? It would be me, but it can't be me. Who else can do it? One more. Carolyn, are you competing today? Would you like to be a judge if you're not competing? I think I put your name in the hat. Did I do that? Oh, you're on mute, Carolyn.
Sorry, I might be up and down with Ron, helping him with stuff. So I would be
That's fine.
maybe hit and miss. I'm sorry.
That's fine, Carolyn. Absolutely. That's totally fine. Absolutely respect that. Thank you for telling me. Oh, we need one more judge. Is Jason John able to judge?
I just sent you a message, Ren, that because I've stayed home,
I've just got it.
so choppy. I don't.
That's okay.
If someone else
That's
can do
all
it,
right.
that'd be great.
Awesome. I just got that message as I asked you, so sorry about that. Is there anyone else that can do it? Might be some more attendees coming. Not quite sure. Well, what do you think we can do, Daphne?
Either I have to stay on and be a judge, or I don't know if Miles can also be a judge while doing scorekeeping. So.
Oh, I don't know.
That would be weird, but I don't know. Who have we got? So who's not performing in the poetry slam? Dun, dun, dun,
And also, usually we prefer that judges can put the camera on, but if you can't, you can just enter your score in the chat and Ren can say it out loud. So, someone's just trying now.
That's fine.
Simone. Could Simone judge?
Simone, yes.
Simone, would you like to be a judge?
In the library.
That makes sense.
Yeah, library judge representative Simone. Oh.
I was just having a little bit of problem with my internet, but I'm back.
Okay.
We've got a heap of storms going on up here at the minute.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Simone, can you be a judge?
Okay. Does that mean I do timekeeping as well, or someone else?
No.
Does that?
Yeah.
No. Oh, wait.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. She's timekeeping. Okay, I'm just going to be a judge. I'm staying for this. I'm
All right.
You're the judge. Okay, cool. Awesome. Cool.
All
You can
right.
do timekeeping. I don't mind.
No, that's
I'll be
okay.
a judge.
All right.
Hey.
Awesome. All right, Daphne. Oh, the troubles of online things. All right, fantastic. So we've got Peter and Jan, we've got Amber, and we've got Daphne as our judges today. Fantastic. So before we get into the slam, Daphne, I'll just get you to put yourself on mute. For some reason, I couldn't do it. Weird. So before we get into that, I do have to share that today we are going to share a survey with you to help us gather data so we can go to the funding bodies and be like, excuse me, poetry is amazing, the community needs it, people value it, we value it, it's important. It's an important space for people to have their voices heard, to stand up for themselves, to do the great thing of sharing words and sharing magic and connecting with people on this beautiful level. And so this survey that we're going to share with you is really, really important because it really does help us moving forward. So I'm going to put that link in the chat while we go into our very first poet of the day. We've got the sacrificial poem. Miles, are you doing the sacrificial poem or was I going to do it?
I'm going to give that to you. Yeah, I'd love to.
Awesome. All right, fantastic. I can do a sacrificial poem. I'm always ready. All right, so the sacrificial poem, everybody, is the poem that the judges are going to use as the benchmark for the poetry judging. So I'm going to perform a poem for you and you're going to judge my poem and use that as the benchmark, like I said, to determine how you're going to judge the other poems. So let's get right into it. The poem that I'm going to perform for you today is called Power Lines. I'm actually just going to ask Carolyn, can you mute? For some reason, I can't mute everyone. Sorry. I don't know why I can't mute anybody. All right. Here we go. Power lines. From the power lines down memory lane, I recall all the women I have been. The houses look so different from up here. Soaring, I reflect on the way these rooftops seem from the street. How perspective is a kind of hindsight. How time has done its best with everything that it had. How I did my best with all I knew I had at the time. My story begins each day when I wake. So many times, in so many beds, on couches, on floors, next to men I thought I loved, who I swear in moments loved me. From the power lines, I watch flowers shiver in their beds. Wine bottles reflect the sun. My cat, wandering. All of these houses look the same as I remember, but aren't the same as I remember. Nothing is. Memories are these tangible things. They warp like blue tack stretched between fingers, Play-Doh mashed at playtime, liberating but messy. And these houses and doorways I see are portals into the past versions of the woman I am yet to be. Why is a building named a building if it is already built? Why is a woman named a woman if not to woo man? Woe, man. Womb, man. Was this house of mine not built for anything more than to serve the other? Language, so inherently destructive, subconsciously constructing the way we see ourselves. From the power lines, I consider my power lines, that perhaps they are here in these leaded strings, stretching from mouth to house, from age to era, all of them ending, stretching into unconscious beginning. These houses house humans that are built for more than language determines. There are predetermined roles in other leaded strings, but they are things that we are reworking. So yes, name me building, for I am constantly. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to my art. Now it is over to the judges. Thank you, Carolyn, for the spirit fingers. I love me some of them. So now it's over to the judges for you to judge my poetry and decide, what are you going to give me? What's going to be your benchmark for today? I'm very excited to hear it, and I'm very excited to get this slam underway. So judges, are you ready to start this off? Peter and Jan. Amber and Daphne, what are your scores? We've got an 8.3. We've got... What else have we got? Sorry, everyone, if I'm lagging.
An 8.9 from Peter and Jan and an 8.1 from Amber. Miles, have you got that down?
Beautiful.
Awesome.
All right. Sorry, everyone. I am back. Thank you so much for those scores, and we are going to get into the poetry. All right. Who is going to be the very first person from this baseball cap for today? The poet is Joe. Take it away, Joe. The mic is yours. You're on mute.
That's it. I just had to adjust that. Okay.
That's all right. Take it away.
This is my first slam other than being an audience member, so a little bit of nerves, but anyway. Here we go. What a year it's been. The scenes played out on our TV screens with constance, ambivalence, with notulance. Their ignorance is but a temperamental scent to inhale and purge, but it's nonsense. It makes no sense. This defense, this sitting on the bench, the pollies, the doctors, the scholars, there's no dollars in my purse anymore to disperse to the homeless, the lonely, the poor. And it's dwindled away from the decay of this disease, like my job and my mob. Put your mask on, please. So I invite you all now to come seize the day. Remember to play, have fun and slay demons with your masks on, because we need them. Shout daily, I'm here, I'm determined, I'm brave. Let's save each other. Let's run for cover. Don't cave into the predictable, because in principle, though, It's their visuals, not ours. It's their visuals that make others become another. My brothers, my sisters become data and statistics, logistics, ballistics, tokenistic. Blatant statements create a fearful race, and we begin to feel small in our own tiny space. And you and I both know that it's the clowns in the towns with the frowns that make places on a map with a pin. It's disgraceful, and I call it Lonely Town. I need you, that we need them and you and us and we to continue to be free from anxiety. Don't look forward, not back. Don't crack. Make a difference for gender, racial inference. Nurture the innocence within our race. One race, but let's not race. Let's reflect and slow and breathe and know we are all in this together. Just one proud, significant, magnificent crowd. And when you're out on the street, listen for the beat. One heartbeat detected, for we are one race, purely connected. Thank you.
What a way to begin. Wow. Thank you so much, Jo. What a beautiful way to begin the Poetry Slam. Congratulations on doing your first slam ever. That did not sound like a first time at all. That was absolutely fantastic. Well done. Awesome. So, judges, we are underway. It is time to decide on how you're going to score that particular poem. Judge the poem, not the poet. Fantastic. All right, Peter and Jan, when you're ready. Amber, Daphne, what are your scores? In 3, 2, 1. We've got a 7.9 from Daphne. We've got a 7.9 again from Amber. And from Peter and Jan, hopefully I don't miss it on my screen lag, and a 7.8. Brava, 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 as we say. Well done, Jo. All right, time for the next one. Oh, there's a sneaky one hanging out of here, which means the next poet is Sarah, the wonderful Sarah Temporal. Come on down to the stage. The mic is yours.
Cool. Can you hear me? All right. Sleep-ins on Sundays and movies on weekends. Long conversations and swearing with freedom. Waking up after a whole night of sleep. These are the things that you don't get to keep. Leaving the house without teddies and nappies, tight tummy muscles and boobs that aren't flappy, having a poo without being disturbed. These are the things that may never return. Makeup and haircuts in silky pajamas, cushions and car seats not smeared with banana, breakable pretty things lined up in shelves. These are the things that have all gone to hell. When the child wakes after midnight, when she's feeling sad, I give her a cuddle that fills up my heart, and then it is kind of hard to miss reading in daytimes and browsing in libraries, snoozing in doonas and floors that stay tidy, knowing my phone won't end up in the bin. These are a few of my lost and gone things. Unwrinkled neck skin and freshly shaved armpits, long lazy showers without an accomplice, clothes free of wee smell, paint, crayon or snotch. These are the things that I've nearly forgot. Candles in holders and romance in marriage, flirtatious texts that I'd coyly encourage, liking or ever again having sex. These things are even more gone than the rest. Energy, solitude, downtime and money, late nights and date nights and bearing my tummy, good pelvic floor strength to hold in my farts. These are the things that forever depart. When the books rip, when the food splats, when I'm wiping a bum. I simply remember my lost and gone things and thank God that I'm a one-child mum.
Oh, Sarah, always such a joy to hear your work. It's wonderful to see you again. That was absolutely gorgeous. Thank you so much for that. All right, judges, once again, it is time for you to decide on how you are going to score that fantastic poem. Remember, we're judging the poem, not the poet, and I am very excited to see what you have to say. Thank you, Sarah. That brought a big smile to my face. Always love a mum song. That's fantastic. All right, judges, we got a 9.1 from the lovely Peter and Jan. We have sorry, Amber, you have lagged for me, so I can't see your score. And I'm sure Daphne's got hers up and I can't see that either.
9.2.
All right.
9.2.
Fantastic. All right. So we are moving on to the next poet. Who is it gonna be? The wonderful Pavitra. Come on down, darling. The mic is yours.
Yeah, can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, darling. Whenever you're ready.
Sorry. Oh, I got invited to a party, but it's not that great, you see, because you just can't be standing there unaware, hands all bare, but you have to talk. Scream to the loud music, dance your night out. But I feel 1,000 eyes following my every move, even though there might just be two, not even two, and I feel every mouth whispering to each other, hey, look at that girl, the way they mutter. So I stutter as they mutter and I make a complete fool of myself. It's like a chain has tied itself around my neck and I've suddenly turned deaf. And I see those popular kids that talk, they walk, their style, their smile, so versatile. I'll never be like that. Well, don't even try. Am I too fat? Do they call me a brat? Is my hair sticking out? Am I having a breakout? Do I look crappy? Are they talking about me? Questions that goes on and on and on, endless questions. Did I put a lot of emojis or did I overshare? For me, chatting just means a series of deleted messages that just felt wrong, even though for you it might just be right. Oh no, he ghosted me. Did I say something wrong? Will he ever talk to me again? My biggest nightmare. Anxiety. At age 5, I peed in the pool. At age 7, I tripped on the ground. At age 10, I wore my shirt upside down. At age 13, I overshared. At age 15, I snorted out loud. At age 17, I wore the wrong tee. For you, it might just be another normal day and another normal incident, but no, for me, it is a nightmare. The nightmare that repeats itself night after night after night until I start doubting my self-worth. Those sleep-deprived nights where my brain just could not stop. It fetches memories age-old, just bad ones, and puts them on a tape, rewinds it again and again and again. The mind of mine needs a listener as it talks all those thoughts that run across, and for some, it is the paper, and the language, the poem. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Pavitra. That was absolutely gorgeous. I really, really got a sense of exactly how you were feeling. I have been there. I'm sure there are many people in the space today who really resonate with that work. So thank you so much for being brave and standing up and speaking your truth. It is always such a gift to see. Judges, it's up to you now. I'm ready for your scores. I wonder what you will say. We've got an 8.2 from Amber. We've got an 8.1 from Peter and Jan and an 8.1 from Daphne. Oh, there's been some unanimous voting today. That is very interesting, very exciting. Now we move on to the next poet of the day. Oscar, it is up to you. The mic is yours and I will spotlight you for the crowd. Take it.
Okie dokie. Can you hear me? Ancient Greek philosophy believed the human body was evil, and I honestly agree. Well, kinda. I'll try to detail what I really mean. At birth, our body bursts through that of our mother as she sacrifices her youth for that of another. A perfect youth, wordless beauty wrapped in a cover. But a fragile and tentative babe. But that'll get better with age. We'll grow teeth, hair, and muscles to bear the struggles that get in the way. And yet, even in the midst of our prime, we won't be invincible as we'd like. We'll still get tired. Still, our lives are filled with lying, resting every night. The body needs rest. The body needs rest, food, water, warmth, sex. Done one, move on to the next. And just when we think we're done, the body sweats. The body needs cleaning every day to get the dirt and sweat away. We do everything. The body breaks down anyway. If I could shed this fleshy prison and glisten, existing as a fairy or vision, I'd do it. Yet, listen, I guess the flesh is weak, but it lets the spirit speak. It gives breath to better things, clever things, a vessel for intellectual beings. So, although the body may fall, the soul can spread its wings. So don't forget to let it, else you've wasted everything.
Yes, Oscar, thank you so much for that. Oh, man, I love poetry. It's the best thing ever. All right, judges, when you are ready, we are ready for your scores. We've got a 7.9 from Peter and Jen. We have a 7.8 from Daphne. And from Amber, oh, sorry, it was a 7.9 from Amber, forgive me. And we've got a 9.3 from Peter and Jen. Fantastic. All right, the next one. We're powering through these magical words today. No name. I'm very excited for this. When you are ready, take it away. The mic is yours.
Us was a car crash, train wreck.
Sorry, no name.
On the rocks, yeah.
We need to stop you there because your connection's really bad, and I prefer if we can come back to you afterwards. Is it the same for everyone else?
Yeah, it's just lagged a little bit, no name. Really sorry about that. So I'm just going to mute you. And hopefully when it resets, we can come back to you after the next poet. Oh, technical difficulties. What a time to be alive, everyone, isn't it? What a time. All right, so you're back. You're back, no name. All right, let's see. Okay, I'm going to wait until your camera is back on and sweet. We're going to go to another poet and then we'll come back to you. So the last two of you, get ready. We'll come back to no name when we are sure that his connection is ready. Who is it? It is Kath. Take it away, poet. The mic is yours.
Hello. I found the B of subtle, the T of listen, the subtlety that's missing from the way we see. I found the con of science and the nonsense of conscience in a world built upon the reliance of denial and fear. I found myself right here and it left me in tears, brought me to my knees for what we forgot, for how lost we got over these long human years. I found myself a stranger to the life I'd been living, doubt that shrouded my faith, a deep soul terror when I was finally safe, and I simply couldn't believe what I'd been given. I found all of time laced through my body and mind. I found what's mine in my heart when I faced myself and discovered that what makes us the same is what sets us apart, and what generates health is the guts to start all over again. I found God and his long lost S. I heard his voice swimming through my head. He says, I've never been anywhere but inside you. It's me or the devil. You know, love's the only thing that's true. So your next move, choose wisely. With your eyes wide open, you'll be shown the only thing humans have ever known is that life is a mystery and history is rife with knowledge thought solid, piled high, swallowed whole, but built on the noble lie. And the tension in here, you could cut with a knife, a blade, a sliver of slate, or a pair of lungs and a silver tongue. Not afraid to make sounds, talk of the profound, write verse, pen lyrics, speak words like creator, Lord, Spirit. Because I found these hidden letters And each of them make me feel pain. They bring shame to the surface, but I'd rather it was all laid out on the table than swept under the carpet. Because what is history but a story written by a hand clenched up, tensed up, that's lost the art of gentle touch? You know, it's all gotten a bit much. No way will this book be finished by somebody peeking from behind a mask. I see now this game of hiding and seeking is over, and the answer to the question I always asked was never anywhere but inside me.
Wow, that is a poem that needs to be heard on stage. Absolutely fantastic, Kat. Thank you so much. What a ripper. All right, I'm wiggling the hat too early. All right, judges, I am ready to hear your numbers. We've got an 8.2 from Peter and Jen. We've got an 8.9 from Amber. And we have 7.8 from Daphne. All right, score those and put them all together. We're going to go back to you, No Name. Are you ready to rock the Casbah? Fantastic. Take it away.
Sorry about before, everyone. We're up in Wollongong, very bad reception. Prometheus. The end of us was a car crash, train wreck, triple scotch on the rocks, death scene. Remember us? That slowly fading dream, fading slowly and also lonely as we clutched to our little patch of shoulder. Yeah, that's right. No more dreams of what we'll look like when we're older. I could have never imagined such a cruel truth. She said, save it. I don't need an explanation. And I became a punching bag for every conceivable frustration. So often taken to take the disposition of a mute, too stubborn and foolish to make waves or risk looking like a fool, when I should have just told you the truth. Now, sitting here watching, that's what I do. I sit and I watch and I nod and I nap and I dream. I dream till I'm black and blue. And sometimes I catch the vapors of that dream, that unseen world that was never meant for me. And I crash tumble awake in a tangle of sheets and pillows. And I reach out to your side of the bed, now hollow. Our dreams become nightmares. I feel this instinctively as black feathers take your form and whirl around me sadistically. But like Prometheus, I'm picked up, I'm carried away in your grip. I surrender and I scream, baby, I'm on my way. My skinny innards are yours to do with what you like. Razor talons flash at myself, belly and over I died as your creatures searched my insides, seeking a heart they would never find, seeking a heart that had long inside, seeking a heart now yours, not mine. I shot awake as quick as opening my eyes in a loveless room, in a loveless house, where I let our romance die.
Oh, wow, beautiful. Thank you so much for that, No Name. Ah, beautiful.
Andy, my baby.
Awesome. All right, judges, when you are ready. Isn't it so amazing how whenever we witness poetry, there is just so many melodies, so many things to listen to. It's just the best. We've got a 9.0 from Amber. We've got a 7.5 from Peter and Jan, and we've got an 8.4 from Daphne. Fantastic. We are going to record those scores, which means we are down to, yes, Ozzy, you have been, and funnily enough, I'm a wiggle in the hat just to say your name last. So, Ozzy, come on down to the stage. The mic is yours.
Can you hear me? Sorry guys, on the chat I was typing away, but I was actually going direct to Ren. So everyone's poem was amazing. Thank you for all the passion. I'm so sorry. Okay. Bro, wake up. Wake up. It's a brand new day. Trust me, it's going to be worth it. Today's the day we find you your purpose. We bury the scars from the past and make sure they never resurface. Yeah, I know, bro, it's a reality that you're finding hard to accept. But once one door closes, what happens next? No, not more regret. Another one opens that you don't expect. So let's break down these walls, that you built up like a 15th century Ottoman fort, layered by negative thought after thought. And I can see your only outlet in the game is taking in all the pain. Regardless of how many rebounds you make, you can't seem to find that right pass down the lane to feel sane again. I agree, the fault isn't all your own, but how long can you blame others for locking away your feelings in a vault never to be shown? You are a human being, it is all part of growing. Yeah, I know, I'm nobody to define your experiences based on mine, or try to convince you with a new age line that everything is going to be fine. The truth is you let the standards set by society nurture your pride, conditioned to value it more than life. While others are planning their future, these repetitive thoughts keep playing on your mind. I can see you are beginning to lose all hope, probably wondering how tight you need to make the rope, or if 150 Ks is suffice to end your life by swerving on the other side of the road. Well, it's not that bad. You feel like I'm now on the attack? Man, I'm just as confused as you. I've got chills running down, my blood is boiling and I've got chills running down my back. Okay, you're right. Just give me a moment to focus on my breath and get back on track. To be fair, I'm not even sure who these words were meant for. Your guess is as good as mine. All I know is if you've opened that door to that dark place once before, a battle rages, which is hard to ignore. Suicidal thoughts come to mind when the battle becomes a war. Who knows? Maybe I'm just talking to myself or anybody else who feels confined to a cell where real men don't cry out for help. Thank you.
Yep, that is a way to end a poetry slam. That was a beautiful, beautiful piece. Thank you, Ozzy, so much for being here to share that. It's really lovely to see you again. Awesome. All right, everyone, that is so amazing. I can't believe we're already at the end of it. That is so nuts. So while the scores are coming, oh yes, of course, the judging, of course. So we've got a 7.8 from Daphne, we've got an 8.8 from Amber, and we've got an 8.7 from Peter and Jan. I was just going to go straight into sharing with you some of my poetry, but I needed to get the scores up.
Right, sorry.
Oh, what a weekend we've all had.
Before you do
all
that,
right, fantastic.
Can we just double check, because I noticed a couple of people were coming in late, if anyone here was also a poet and they wanted to perform, otherwise we shall move on.
Yeah, if there's anyone else who would like to take the spot.
Okay, they might have just been audience members, all good.
No worries. Awesome. Yeah, good thinking, Daphne. Thank you for that. Fantastic. So what a beautiful collection of poems. Thank you so much, everyone, for sharing and competing and showing up for yourself in the online space this way. It is really, really hard, not only to share your own work, but to simply show up at this point, I think, for so many of us. So congratulations, no matter what happens today, you did awesome. So yeah, while the scores are getting tallied, I thought I would share with you some poems of mine and some of the poems that I competed with last year during the Poetry Slam, the Australian Poetry Slam as well. I've picked some old ones and some good ones, you know, the ones that I haven't performed in such a long time. But the way that I think about poetry, and I share this in a lot of my workshops, is that when you get to know a poem, it kind of forms its shape in your mouth like a lolly. And I always think about, you know, when you eat a butter menthol and you're a bit sick, and then you eat the butter menthol and it's just becomes this really soft, yummy, gooey little lolly in your mouth. That's a poem. So I'd like to share with you some of those poems, but I have got a message here. Yeah, cool, that's fine, no name. Do they want to compete in the slam, or do they want to simply read and share some poetry? We can do a segue to a last minute entry. Absolutely. Hi there, no names friend. Would you like to compete or would you like to read?
I don't know if I'll compete, but I'm just going to do it.
Yeah, score it anyway.
All right, awesome. All right, go for it.
All right.
Take it away.
This is one I wrote. It's called Visions of a Refugee Crisis. In a dream, I saw a future, a promised mountain. All of the giants of Woodstock had so far planned. I saw their children trying to create a brave new world, turning with one eye on their cities made of sand. Some were singing gypsies in a dedicated festival to humankind, makeshift shelter, homage to a future refuge. united in the wake of their original song, rejoicing in the freedom of their calloused hands. Until a thief from the twilight world came and scattered all their cities with dust. It was an ancient tradition of gravestones and blood. The outcast demon left his shadow in the valley, and out of the confusion of lost purposes came a black horse of greed and lust. And those that were innocent were lifted by their only alternative, and decisive that the blogs became faces that had none. So prolific source of music, begin once more to flow within our veins. Only the power of the music can heal our shame and save us from the deadly flame. At the end of the dream, I was left with one question: why should it be so? That most people were dead, for it seemed that the gypsies were the only survivors, as they left their supplies and that's why they fled, turned their backs on their past, left their caravan sheds. Weary limbs walk the deserts, one more chance from their blood. Now all that is left are their tracks in the mud.
Yeah, that's so good. That's fun.
Thank you so much for that. Oh, I love a last second poet. That is fantastic. Thank you so much for that generous offer. Amazing. So yes, as I was saying, I'm going to share with you some of the poems now that I wrote last year. They are all from my upcoming collection called Blueprint Body.
Ran, I'm so sorry to do this to you, but we were going to still score that before you went into your poems, and I'm so
okay. I thought that they said that they didn't. All right.
Yeah, we thought they might as well.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you're from the area, like you're eligible to compete if you want to.
Illegible or eligible?
Let's just
Do it. Do it. Do the scores. Do the scores. Awesome. All right, so we've got a 7.7 from Daphne, we've got an 8.9 from Amber, and a 7.6 from Peter. Fantastic. All right, sweet. I'm just going to go into a poem now, I think. Amazing, awesome. Oh, Zoom, what a joy. All right, so this first poem I have to share with you is one of the first spoken word pieces I ever wrote. It is called Autumnal Red. I haven't read it in a long time, so if I'm going to read it a little bit and kind of try to recite it. You asked me what colour I am. Deep purple or blue? I said, what is it with you? Don't you see? I am autumnal red. In your mind you see leaves, changing colours, dressing trees. They line the pavement where you walk under their crowns. The likelihood is your eyes are looking down in a screen. You know I'm there, but you don't see me. I'm waiting for you to look up because I know you're about to pass me by, and I've stretched myself out to catch the light from the sky so you can catch me out of the corner of your eye and say, wow, what a beauty. Chances are I will flutter past you, you won't notice me, and I'll caress the skin of a passerby who I thought could love me the way I hoped you would, and then the crunch of my skeleton against the pavement, a sad boy's medicine stomping in Wellingtons. Under boots I crunch. It's a sound people relish with no thought of how I feel after, because in the moment I am so satisfying. Everyone says it, and you forget that before this little death I am a wonder, with all of my curves, veins, edges and curls. When I am fresh off the twig and still fluttering to a tune you are not accustomed to, I will twist and turn before your eyes and land in your palm, like a sun-kissed wonderment. You will melt in our moment. This piece of Mother Nature, marvel at the colour of my feminine, my fiery warmth. Whether I am your first or your fourth, my heart is a leaf of autumnal red, rich but fragile, sometimes fading fast, a gem of the perennial, a martyr of the deciduous. I guess what I mean is, overall, you will love me then drop me. That's why they call my season fall. Thank you so much, everybody. So, yeah, I've got a companion poem to that piece. Thanks, Ozzy, for the big arms up. I've got some arms on the ground there. I love some arms on the ground. That's nice. Thank you. Oof, ending. Thanks, Jason John. I love that. So, yes, this other poem is a companion piece to that. It's called Dandelions. And I don't need the writing in front of me. I can do it. I trust myself, as you should too. I've been wishing on dandelions, reaching for the lost lashes in the wind. If I catch them, will love come to me? Is that how this works? It's been so long since I felt love on this skin. Real love that sees this skin that wants what's beneath it. To be wanted so much you want to curl up in their chest and blossom inside their ribcage. I've been floating on an iridescent wave of maybe. This uncharted sea that seems to follow the same story. A curse of insecurities that deeply haunt me in the shapes of my inadequacies, but I'm used to it. You know, I'm starting to think that love is a lie. It's a game people play with me. I'm a sideline. I'm a subplot to the main arc of their movie, a mistake in a remake of a maybe this time might be the last time, but it never is. I'm the extra of an omitted scene, the blurry face at the back of the room of a dreamboat's wet dream, a notch on the belt, closing from no use, healing like forgotten wounds because leather is skin, after all. I'm ready for my future, he told me. Face to face, cups of tea between us, steam, a smoke screen for first date jitters as I whispered, so am I. I drove home that day with the ghost of him on my lips, laughed at the thought, here's a tea I'd like to sip, but when you're forcing someone into your thoughts, they're not the one. And you don't care if they reply, they're not the one. I want you to know me, he told me, over the phone, quietly, nightly, as we let the weeks unfold, both of us knowing that we were simply hoping that the spark would come in time. But waiting drains energy. It's a drip feed into insanity. I don't have time anymore to be hunting for something I'm actually not ready for. And then I realized this desire for love is a sign of an absence of it within myself. So in a moment of fortitude, I faced up to my truth and finally told the boy goodbye. There's something else I have to do. Thanks, everyone. The last poem that I have to share with you tonight was the original title piece for my collection. The collection was originally called This Body of Work, as Blueprint Body is about my relationship with my body and the relationship that I have with my narrative as a woman and a queer woman and what that means for me in 2021 and beyond and before and all that jazz. So this poem is called This Body of Work. So it was the original title piece. Just wanted to share that. So this is the last piece that I have to share with you. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I wish poets all the best for whoever wins today. No matter what happens, the winner is always poetry, and you should always take the initiative and take the opportunity to show up for yourselves, because this work and this world and this poetry stuff, it really does amazing things for the soul and amazing things for community. So keep showing up. This piece is called This Body of Work. There's something happening in this skin. I think I know what it is, and so I'm listening. It's my something that's been brewing since a tender age, ever since I felt that magic when I showed up to the page. Is it intention and purpose? Whatever it is, I'm telling you that every moment is worth it, because it's been dark in there for an age as old as I am, and I was scared that I didn't know when it would stop, when it would end, when I would be free of my mind again. But today, you will find me on the freeway with the roof down, singing at the top of my lungs, dancing like everyone's watching, and I will let them laugh at my lameness, roll your eyes at this energy when really you'll envy that this is a woman willing to be seen. Project your own fear of judgment onto the one who has mastered her gavel, onto this one who could teach you to let it go. This body of work is my labor of love, to celebrate in every way that I choose. I will love with my breasts bare to the wind and bless a mango mess in naked bliss. I will let myself into the expansion of my own design, carve my heart onto my sleeve, bear it strong, scars sing. And on my numbered days that tick by in plain sight, watch me as I dance in my own love and own that this is what it feels like. Thank you so much, everybody, for bearing witness to poetry today. Thank you so much for the spirit fingers. They are always such a joy. I cannot wait to hear them in person very, very soon. It's going to be an absolute joy, and I'm very looking forward to the next round of poetry in person. It's just going to be so special. So that brings us to the end of the slam. I'm very excited to hear who won, and I just want to wish everybody the best, and I'm going to pass over to Daphne. Thank you so much, everybody.
I'm going to pass back to Miles, actually.
Hello.
Forgive me, go for it.
So I have just placed something in the chat that I would like you all to open. It is a cool little thing that we've set up recently where we just want to know what's our actual effect on the community. You know, you can go out there and say, everybody express yourselves, and this feels great, storytelling feels great, we do it with each other and we support each other. But we've kind of put together a little feedback form so that we know what we're actually doing in community. Also, it's a way of letting the board of Australian Poetry Slam and Word Travels know, letting funding buddies know. It's really simple, takes a few seconds. So what we're going to do is just going to put on a holding slide. Daphne's got some awesome, just chill out music. You've all been really incredible today. And I think the exciting thing is when we go away and we read this and we're just like, oh my God, that was life-changing for you? Or we say, oh, wow, we could have done that a little bit better. So whatever you think about this experience today, really excited to hear from each of you. We've also put into the chat a couple of other things. We have the national final on sale right now. So you can tell your friends, you can come along. It is live, so it'll be live in Sydney, so in person. It's an in-person thing. So really excited for New South Wales folks to be at the New South Wales final, which is on November 27th in Sydney at Customs House, confirmed and on sale, and it's sitting in our website on wordtravels.info. So have a look at that. So 2 people from today will be in the New South Wales state final and then proceed to the national final on the 28th of November. But yeah, check out the whole Story Week program. That's all live now. Also, if you just want a few more, like if you want to develop your craft, if you want a few more tips about how to not only write and perform your poetry, but how to set up your own poetry slam and how to work in community, we've also got a link to a fantastic book that I wrote with a high school teacher, which I've got that link right here, and it's called Slam Your Poetry, Write a Revolution. Let me just grab that for you and put it in the chat.
I've already put it in the chat.
Yay, thank you, Daphne. Great work.
Okay, so we shall reconvene, I'll say at 6:10. Everyone can get a glass of water, go to the bathroom. But yeah, I really hope you at least open that survey. Even if you don't finish it by the time we come back, please return to it. It's so important. Thank you. And now I will play some music.
Okay. I believe we're back. I don't know.
No, I was just trying to fix the music because he kept muting me.
Oh, was I?
Someone was muting me. Anyways, no, guys, we're still on a break for a few minutes.
Cool. Awesome. Okay, are we here? Has everyone had their time to do a wee and have a cup of tea and all those bits and pieces? Everybody happy? Yay, awesomeness. Ren is here. Ren dropped out for a little bit of a moment there, but I think she's back. Just checking in on everybody. We got Renzo piano. No, Ren has dropped out. Dun 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 dun. She's going to come back in though. Okay, we do have Ren. Ren's going to come back, but there we go. She's in the house now. Or do they call it room or do they call it house? I say, because I'm from Chicago, I say she's in the house. But yeah. I'm pretty excited to see what happens because, you know, it has been like almost 2 years since we've actually been in a venue. So we are back in Customs House at Circular Quay for the New South Wales Poetry Slam final. Story Week as well is a weird amalgam of COVID safe stuff. So we're actually organizing story walks with TEDx presenters. So you meet a TEDx presenter at Mrs. Macquarie's chair and you go for a walk for 10 minutes and you get a presentation. So instead of like 5,000 people in a room, no, it's you and 3 other people just going for a walk along the ocean. Stuff like that is what Story Week's doing. So check it out. If you have a chance to come down to Sydney and you're not in the Poetry Slam, you are invited to just hang out in Story Week. So you're all sitting there going, please stop speaking and tell us who won. So I can feel your eyes and your brain. So I'm going to start by giving an honorable mention to the 3rd place scorer. And I also want to say this is this is an artifice. This is a competition thrown over the top of a poetry reading, right? We're here inspiring you to participate in a poetry slam, but it's really inspiring you to participate in just a poetry reading, right? So you got tricked. Yeah, you came to a competition, but what you actually got was just a simple old poetry reading, right? It's been going on for thousands of years. Put that competition on top of it, and everybody's like, oh my God, my hero rises or falls. But there you are. We are here at a poetry reading. So, dun, 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 in third place. Not going through to the New South Wales final, but going through to our hearts. Boom, 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 boom. Aussie. Thank you, Aussie. Yes. And in second place, this is my, like, I'm hosting a TV show kind of game show thing. In second place, please make them feel welcome all the way from the other side of your screen. Oscar. Okay. I don't know how to do sound effects without using mouth and body, really. Okay. And in first place, going through to the New South Wales final on November 27th, the mum that we all know and love from The Sound of Music, Sarah Temporal. Boom, 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 boom. G'day, Sarah.
Well done, Sarah.
I order this one.
I was going to say, there's the source of your inspiration right there.
Yes, here it is. My muse, Harriet, my muse.
Oh, Harriet Muse.
I mean, she's actually lovely, I should say. I don't have such a hard time of it, really.
Well, you know, we don't really print out photos anymore. Maybe you do have a little photo album book, but this is going to be her, you know, her little memento as she grows older. You know, be like, oh, there's my mom talking about me.
And my bum, yep.
We do have time for an encore poem if you want to hit us with an encore poem. It won't
really?
Won't be counted as one of those poems that you can't perform in the New South Wales final. It'll be like anything you want to do.
Okay.
Or you could just be like, excuse me, I'm holding a child and I'm tired. I don't actually want to speak.
Yeah, I mean, I've done it before.
Cool.
If you want, yeah, I can grab some.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Do you want to hear another rude one, or a nice gentle one? I don't know.
I mean, considering does your child understand words?
Oh yeah.
Harriet? Okay. All right. Well, we will leave it up to you to be the judge of what's appropriate. Okay.
All right. I just filled something up. Oh, hey, Lynn. I just saw people jumping in that I know. Hey, everyone. What can I read? Has to be one I'm not going to perform, doesn't it? So, yeah. Thanks. And go with that.
Just
you
in
want
case,
to stay?
just in case Mum swears.
That's all right. I'm not going to swear. I think she's well and truly attached. They're still there. Everyone's still
Hi,
there.
Harriet. How you going?
Yeah.
Is that a yummy thumb?
Pretty good, isn't it? All right, here we go. I'm going to read you. This one is called The Rising. And I'm mostly reading it because I don't know how it goes because I haven't read it that many times before. But it's about my obsession with retelling fairy tales and the narratives of women's lives that we carry.
Beautiful earrings.
Oh, thank you. They are beautiful earrings, apparently. Here we go. This daughter is rising, wearing armour she made from the skin of a flea. She shelters flames in her pelvic cave and kicks with her ink-black feet. She rises out of every story that stuttered her like a pinned moth. Tiny limbs beat and beat like nothing could thunder harder than this page. Other daughters rise up from altars and tree trunks and beds. This daughter prizes open the fist that collected her, with lips red as blood, red as murder. They are coming unbound and unbidden, these daughters. They are going out dressed as the moon, spitting penalties and prohibitions that stained their tongues with ash. Another daughter is trying to remember her secret birth in murky woods, illicit sensation of mother's tongue stirring the pulse under waxy blue skin. These daughters are grown. They gather up all the limbs they have lost. They press their voices into their chests. They carry dead hands with canine teeth. All your daughters are rising now, see? Rising like embers, like flames. May the sound of their blazing in the tongue-drunk night stir you ever so softly in your grave.
I think for that, we can ask everybody to turn their microphones on and give the sound of their favorite animal. Okay, here we go. All at once.
Hey!
So Ren has officially not been able to get back on. So I'm going to say that.
Before we end, though, I just want to go to Simone because I think Simone has a prize for Sarah.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I actually have 2 prizes. So first and second. So Sarah, there's a $100 voucher for the book warehouse waiting for you at Coffs Harbour Library. Just you can come and pick it up anytime from Monday onwards. And then it was Oscar was second. So there's a $50 prize voucher for the book warehouse as well waiting for you at the library, Oscar.
How feasible is getting to Coffs Harbour for each of you, considering some of you might be, Mullumbimby and some of you
We can post them out in the mail too.
Oh yeah, that could work. Yeah, that sounds good. Definitely. Unless you were planning on a short trip down to Coffs, Sarah?
What would suit everybody?
We might be there later in the year, but it's hard to say. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, I might